Hey there guys, it's Zologe here with a deck profile for the Generation Fish. This is the deck that revolves around using these level 3 fish, aqua, and sea serpent type monsters that banish themselves in order to get their effects or when they've attacked and things like that to beat down your opponent, and using things like winged tortoise to make the rank 3 monsters in this deck. It's very control heavy actually, since the monsters here are kind of squishy, just like the rest of the format. You're going to be relying a lot on your extra deck. So without further ado, let's go into deck profile and explore choices as we go along. So first we go for the triple 5-fang. This guy is one of the most reliable ways to get your banishes off quickly and easily, since when he just inflicts battle damage, it doesn't matter how, he gets banished at the end of the battle phase, and your opponent can't touch him, and when it's your standby phase, he comes back, which is really cool, since who runs a different dimension, Braille from a different dimension now anyways to disrupt my plays. So next we run the double winged tortoise. Now the reason why I run doubles instead of triples is because you want to get this guy early to the grave, and when sea serpent, fish, or aqua type monster is banished, you can special summon this card from your hand to graveyard. So you can basically use this guy as a Xyz material for anything, and while you have this guy in your hand, you can special summon him when this guy is special summoned, which is why I like this card, is because it can activate when something is normal or special summoned as long as it's fish, sea serpent, or aqua type. So that's kind of nice. Next we go for the triple Needle Sunfish. Now Needle Sunfish is not the greatest card in the world, however it does have a really neat effect, and that is that it never misses timing. So it doesn't matter how it's sent to the graveyard, so you can detach it, you can discard it for discard cost, it can be sent to the graveyard by battle, it can send from the deck to the graveyard. It's going to get its effect off regardless as long as your opponent controls a monster. So you can just go ahead and say, okay, I don't want you to have 2,000 attacks, so I'm just going to lower it down to 1,500. It's not like super useful, it's not like the most powerful deck in the world, but it helps because you're going to be using this guy a shit ton in this entire deck. Just detaching it, special summoning back through things like the Levier just to banish him and send him to the graveyard again, so your opponent will lose 5 more attack and things like that to make your opponent's monsters really weak, so you can run over them with the bigger monsters in the deck. Next we run the double air Orca. This guy is basically your monster removal. You can banish one fish, sea serpent, aqua type monster from your hand, and then target one face-up card your opponent controls, and you destroy it, then you banish the air Orca until the next standby phase. So you basically go a little bit minus with this guy, which is why I don't like to use him too much, but he's a neat little guy to have if you happen to have the right cards at the ready. Next we run the 2 junk synchrons. Now the reason why I'm running this guy is because I'm actually running the Nimble Sunfish engine. I really like the Nimble Sunfish, Junk Synchron is an excellent choice because it allows me to go into the Armadis, the Catastor, and the Samsara, which are all really important for this deck if you want to keep on. They're not necessarily win conditions, but they do help out a lot against the bigger beatstick decks. Next we run the triple Thriller Rabka. This is just a way to negate attacks and save your monsters. Now this is also the main target for Nimble Sunfish as a fact. So you basically just go for, okay, let's ditch a Thriller Rabka, well, hopefully let's ditch triples of them, and then you can just keep on abusing him, because he's one of the easiest banishes in this entire deck, and the reason why the banishes are so important, you'll see later. Next we go for the triple double Skystar Ray. This is also a very easy banish. You just go and attack your opponent directly with it, and then you banish it. Cheap 800 points of damage, nice enough for a game. And it's also a nice little easy banish to get early on. Next to go for the triple shark stickers. This is our Kageto Kage. We just go into rank 3s with this, nothing too special. However, his effect does trigger when when something is normal or special summon, as long as it's a fish, sea serpent, aqua type monster that you control. So next we go for a triple Nimble Sunfish. This is a really nice little engine because it allows for setups like nothing else. It's actually really powerful of a card, and if you get this early on, you're gonna have a great time. You can also run the Princess in this deck. Betunaful Princess, or whatever the hell that card is called. It's like a level 1, this person's level 4 or something from your deck by banishing it. But it's not like super useful in this, but you can run it in case you really want to run the Tuneful Princess engine. I'm more personally fond of the Nimble Sunfish engine more than anything else. But as for the spells, we go for the triple fish and swaps because we are going to be banishing a lot of fishes, so it's really nice just to get a little, maybe something like a Nimble Sunfish ditch to drop something's attack and then get back to about, say, things that have been banished earlier, like say the Frailer Rapkas or things like that, to keep on going with our combos and keep the, not necessarily stun going, but keep the control and hand advantage. Next we go for the double fishing kicks. So in case we have 3 or more banished efficiencies or Doctor type monsters, which is really easy to get in this deck, by the way, you just play this and banish a card in the field, which is kind of powerful. Next we go for the triple Zero Force. Now Zero Force is just to kind of save ourselves from any unnecessary hassle. Because well, save us some unnecessary damage and make sure that our monsters can actually run over our opponent. We can just use Zero Force to make everything's attack points 0 when a monster, when a face-up monster we control is banished, which is really easy to do in this deck. You can just go Orca, pop something, and then boom, Zero Force, and then just let everything else roll. And the attack decrease is permanent too, so it's kind of awesome. Next we go for the triple Splash Capture. Now Splash Capture is one of our major win conditions. This thing can actually change the game into your favor if your opponent sees something really powerful and just go, hey, I'm not gonna let you have that, so let's go ahead and Splash Capture so I get a monster for free, and then keep another card in our deck live. Next we go for the triple Fish Rain. Now Fish Rain is just to make sure that we keep a monster on board. Should we not have a Winged Tortoise on board already? It's just a nice little card to have. It's not super duper mega awesome. Nothing in this deck is really meta breaking, but hands down the most powerful card in this entire deck is the O-Fish. O-Fish is basically a counter trap card version of the Trap Tricks Trap Hole Nightmare. It's a little bit more conditional, but it's way more powerful because it is a counter trap. You can only stop it with Fire Tap, and it's nice. It's really nice to have. When it comes to the extra deck, we run 1 Acid Golem, 1 Nightmare Shark, 1 Leviathan Dragon, 1 Totem Bird, 1 Giga Brilliant, 1 Alucard, 2 Leviers, 1 Wind Up Zen Mains, 1 Dante, 1 Fortune Tune, 1 Downer Magician, because this card is actually pretty awesome together with a pre-activated Zero Force to make this thing like super nasty to deal with. And as for the synchros, we go for the Armatis, the Catastor, as well as the Samsara. And that runs up to extra deck. So tell me what you guys think about this deck, and I'm out.